So welcome to Nicholas Jimenez of Way Before the Fame. I gave a little brief bio, so tell us a little bit about yourself and some information you want to share with all of us. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, my name is Nicholas Jimenez. I am 29. And I have my own clothing line. I wouldn't just say it's clothes though, it's more just like an overall brand. But yeah, right now what I do is I basically sell clothes. I have a YouTube channel too, which I'm getting heavy into. I help a lot of other people start their brands. And yeah, I kind of do one of everything, but like my main thing I guess would be clothes. I guess that's how I make my money. But I help people other ways. Like if someone, let's say Madison, wants to start a clothing line, I would help her out with like, since I did it already and I'm like successful, I would help her decide what t-shirt to use. Cause like that's an expensive learning process to be like, oh, I'm gonna get this one, then you know, like that one. I would tell her the best way to print, you know what I mean? And just et cetera, et cetera. That's kind of what that's what I do.
Okay, tell us what made you decide to get into that. Like, how did you graduate
Um,
high school? Because our students are currently in high school now. What led you to that path of entrepreneurship?
all right. So in high school, I was really never big on school, like even like a long time ago. I never got like left back or anything. I graduated on time. I got like high school. I went to college directly after high school. I think I did like a year and a half. Then I took a break because I was like, I never saw myself as a 9 to 5 kind of guy. I just never thought that like I could just see myself doing something for like 30 years straight and then or 40 years or 50 years straight and then retiring. Like to me, that always just seems so crazy. Like, and a lot of people that I see aren't happy in their job. So like I didn't want to like I'd rather have a low paying job that I'm happy every day I go to work than like be a millionaire but be miserable. Like you know how like a lot of celebrities and stuff, they always like, not always, but they commit suicide. It's like it shows you that money really isn't everything. So yeah, after college, I was always working in retail. So like I understood the clothing aspect of it and I like clothes, like I like streetwear, I like Supreme, I like Nike, I like all that stuff. So I was like, F it, I'm gonna just make the stuff that I like. And I'm gonna just rock my stuff. So like I could be, when people see me in clothes, they're gonna be like, oh, that's you. And I'm like, yeah. So that was kind of like my thought process on it. I don't want to be like the next Virgil. Like clothes is kind of just something that I like doing. It lets me to create. It lets me to like wear things. It's kind of cool to like create something and wear it. Like it's kind of like painting something and be able to see it, but I get to wear it and then everyone else can see it. So it's basically just lets me create and do whatever I want. And other people like it, so that's always a plus.
Awesome. So why don't we start with questions? So I know Joelle is the first one that has a question for you.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Joel. A question I have is, how'd you come up with your brand name, or is there like a story or like something that happened that made you decide like to choose that?
That's a good question. Honestly, I always just thought I was gonna be famous. So before I even started clothes or anything, I just liked the name way before the fame because it kind of like I like the struggle story. Like I like the fact that like, you know, we saw LeBron, for example, like in high school, and like, oh, it's crazy that like that was way before the fame. Like he was just an Akron, Ohio, regular high school kid, and now look at him. Like we saw like Steph Curry and Davis in college, and now look at him. So like for me, I always loved like the rise, like Drake on Degrassi, stuff like that. So like to me, I like the name way before the fame because although I'm not famous, it's cool to just the day to day life, like you know what I mean. And I feel like way before the fame is bigger than me. That like kind of everyone at some point wants to be famous. Like they always have like a dream to be famous, whether you're younger or you're like older. But that was kind of my thought process on it. So it's kind of just like the story.
Great, thank you. So Sophia?
Um, Hi, yeah, my name is Sophia. I have a question. It's like, what was like your first clothing piece you made, or like how was the process to get like to where you are with all your clothes and stuff?
My first thing I ever made was a shirt with my face on it. And I think two people bought it. It was family members because obviously I thought people were gonna buy it because I don't know why I thought someone was gonna buy it. But that was my first process, and it was hard. First thing ever when I went to, in the mall, like those little booths where they make like t-shirts and stuff. So I went there. That was the first place. I think I paid like $20 a shirt, which is ridiculous because now I can make a shirt for like $3. But that was my first ever shirt, and that was cool. Like my first ever, I guess, successful shirt was I made a picture of like Drake's face, like when he was a baby. and he liked it on Instagram, and that was like the first like cool thing of like, oh wow, like Drake liked my picture.
Thank you. Andrew is the next student that has a question.
Hi, I'm Andrew. So you mentioned that you also do sort of like mentoring for other entrepreneurs who wish to like start up their own business.
Yeah.
So I want to know if you yourself had any like mentors when you were like starting up your business, or like were you on your own the entire time?
Good question. I honestly really didn't. Um, I didn't really. I think that's why I do it more now, because I don't know anyone that has a clothing line. I don't know any real like entrepreneurs growing up. I didn't grow up with any. There was one person, my cousin's husband. He helped me. He was started like a hat business, and he was definitely a big part of like he stopped me from making a lot of mistakes. Like there was times where like I wanted to order, let's say 1,000 of one shirt, and he would be like, maybe you should just do like 100. And I'm grateful for like those words he gave me, because that helped me. It just helped me basically what I do now. Like I still want people to go through the ups and downs, but if I see them making a mistake that could be tragic, like if I would have ordered those 1,000 shirts, I probably wouldn't have sold them, and who knows if I would even have a brand now. So like I like to just help people, but I don't want to like be the, I don't want to be like the shadow, because you could only really learn with your money. If I'm giving you money to start a business, it's not going to hurt the same if you lose the money.
Thank you. And the next student that we have is Desiree. And also Desiree, before you go, if there's anyone else that would like to ask a question, just do the hand raise now so that you can be ready in order to ask. So Desiree?
So I wanted to ask, is there like a specific age group or anybody like in specific that you hope to impact with the clothes that you put out there?
Not that I shoot towards. I think like maybe my demographic would probably be like maybe like I don't know, like 14 to maybe like 35. But people DM me from like all ages and all like over the world. Like this guy was DMing me not long ago. He was from New Zealand, and he wanted like tips of like same thing, like what's the best shirt you use? Because like in a clothing line, that's kind of the biggest thing, because you obviously want to make money, but you don't want to buy the most expensive shirt, because you're obviously gonna like your profits won't be as good. So you got to kind of find like that middle ground of like really good quality, but not the most expensive. So like that's like a really big question I get a lot. On YouTube, sometimes I put like the YouTube and the Instagram is everything is just way before the fame spelled regular. But on there I kind of just like show people like the behind the scenes sometimes when I go to like the shop, because I make all my clothes in Brooklyn. Like I don't do it like in China and stuff. So like I show people like I'll take a hat, for example, like I guess this, for example, like this would be like a white hat, and then this would just be embroidery, and then like this would, you see where it says wait for the fame, that would be embroidery. So I kind of like show, because anyone, like I started my brand at like 24. So like if I was doing this at like your age, for example, I don't even know, like I would be out of here.
Thank you. So Chantel has her hand raised.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Chantel. And you said because you're an entrepreneur and you have your own YouTube channel, I assume you're more independent and you have more freedom over what you do on a daily basis. But I wanted to know, what was your regular daily schedule?
Now or before?
Both, actually.
Well, before, I haven't had a job. Well, like pre-COVID, I didn't have a job for a while. Like I was always like, to me, jobs are always like stepping stones to me. It was like, I know I'm not gonna work here forever. So like, if this job is gonna pay me good, I'm gonna work here until either I have enough money saved to leave to then like focus on the brand, because it's really hard to juggle having a full-time job, like let's say working 40 hours and then working on your brand, because one, you get complacent because you're having that consistent income of like, I know I'm gonna make $1,000 every 2 weeks, so like I don't really gotta work that hard. So like that was kind of like my last job. Well, the job I had before I started my brand, I was a manager at Forever 21, and then I just quit like on a limb and just started my brand, which was the best thing I ever did. But now my day to day, like you said, I have 100% freedom, so like I could sleep till 5 if I want. But when you're your own boss, you kind of have to like kick yourself. Like you have to be self-motivated. Like I can't be on some Slack and stuff, because if I just stay home and do nothing all day, I would make $0. I mean, I guess people could order things online, but like you have to post it. So like my job really is like just being on social media. Like my screen time is probably like 11 hours a week. But like being on social media, being on like Facebook, posting the newest thing, doing photo shoots with people, going to the shop, staying in kind of the loop of like what's cool, what's not cool, but not getting sucked in because you don't want to miss the wave. So kind of just make what you want. But yeah, my day schedule, I say I would probably wake up around like 10. I go to bed at like 5 though. So like I'm never really going to bed early. And then I most likely I'm either going to the post office to UPS to ship orders, and then go to the shop, maybe work on some new things and just stuff like that, kind of just staying busy. Because if I have a day where I'm not productive, it's much different than like people who have jobs, for example. Because being my own boss, like people always tell me to watch shows. This is a good example. And I always tell them like I can't watch it. Like I can't get into like a show with like 3 seasons because that's like my whole day. Like if I binge watch a show for like a week, I'm gonna make no money. And like while that person who has a job still is gonna get that $1,000 every 2 weeks, I'm gonna get 100 because I wanted to spend my whole day watching TV. So it's kind of like you gotta have that thing. Like you gotta be able to be like, I know no one cares about my brand, for example, but I gotta really be on my P's and Q's.
Awesome. Does anyone else have a question? We have time for maybe like 1 or 2 more.
I have another one.
Okay.
Okay. So you said you were good in school during high school. So was your family supportive of your dream? Like, did they ever were like, oh, you're wasting your the potential that you could have had if you were a doctor or a teacher or something else?
Well, growing up, my mom was always really like, I wouldn't say she wasn't supportive because she was supportive, but I feel like having a Dominican mother who like Dominican parents at that, and they grew up over there, they came here, they want your kids to be a brain surgeon if it's up to them. But she wasn't not supportive. It was more just like what was annoying when I wasn't like taking school seriously is that what she would do is like bring up other families. So like for example, if let's say I'm not in school, I didn't start my business yet. I started my business like I said like 24. So at that point I would have graduated college if I did my 4 years anyway. But what she would do is she would compare me to other people. So like that kind of makes it like you know what I mean? Like back then when I wasn't where I am now, she would be like, "Oh, like let's say they're I guess having like talks around the coffee table or something, and one parent would be like, "Oh, hey, my son just graduated college. He has a Mercedes." And then the other thing would be like, "Oh, my parents, my kid's in nursing school." And then I guess it would get to my mom, and she would be like, "Oh, my son is I don't know what he's doing." But like that's kind of like the entrepreneurship. Like those memes are real life. Like I want you guys to know I'm a real example of like I'm now 29 and I drove a 2001 Corolla for like 5 years, like a trash car, like hoopty, hoopty, hoopty. And now I have 3 cars. I have 1 car from Japan. If you guys go on my Instagram, that's worth like $8,000. It's like right-hand drives, like literally like imported from Japan. And then I have another 2-seater Miata that's worth like, I don't want this to be about money, but it's like, nah, not an R34. That'd be fire though. But I have another car. I have a Miata, a turbo Miata that's worth like $10,000. And like I have a bunch of stocks. I have crypto. Like I have like it's a long road and I'm not nearly where I want to be, but it's cool to be like, all right, it's kind of like paying off. Like it's kind of NA Miata, but it's kind of paying off. Like it's like, all right, it's a really long road. There's days where I wanted to be like, yo, this is not what I want to do. Like, why am I making shirts and no one's buying it? Why am I like, what do I have to do? Like, why am I in debt? Why this other things? Like, there's a bunch of questions of being an entrepreneur. Like, it isn't easy at all. But when it works, it works. And I'm not Drake. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not famous. Like, you guys probably never heard of Wait for the Fame in your life. But all you need is a small little niche of people to really support you, and then it just gets bigger, and that's all that matters. There's millions of people in the world. Like, I'm never going to be supreme, probably. There's not going to be a line. I'm not going to sell out every Thursday. But if you make 100 shirts and you sell 100, like, that's still good.
So we have a question from Julissa.
My question is like every clothing line has like their own inspiration. So like what inspires some of the designs that you create for your clothes? Like if you have any.
Um, I think that the fact that like I don't want to be Virgil and I don't want to be like Kanye West, that like I don't really have much things I look at. I kind of just like me personally, I would wear sweats every day. So like my last couple collections have just been sweats and hoodies, but like super high quality and super comfortable. So like I kind of just make what I like. Like this is a hoodie that like it's like Nike. You probably can't see it, but it says "Wait for the fame" over Nike. Like I don't feel like anyone ever did this, but it was just like I just think I make clothes that are really comfortable, high quality, and like inexpensive. I wouldn't say they're super affordable. It's not $10, but like t-shirts for like 25 is not a lot of money to me.
So Desiree?
I was just gonna ask, what's like an idea that you keep in mind to keep moving forward and come up with new ideas?
I think since I was younger, I just always wanted to like do more. Like a bad thing about being an entrepreneur is that like you kind of never celebrate the W's. So like the fact that let's say I don't even know, I don't let's say I made like $50,000 today and Kanye West and Rihanna hit me up and they want to buy my clothes, right? I would be happy for probably like a week. And then it's like, damn, when is Jay-Z and Beyonce gonna hit me up? When is like, the next like there's always there like it's never enough. That's why like it's just like I could get a Ferrari today and I'll be very happy for let's say a year, but then it's like, damn, that Bugatti looks really good though. Then you could buy 5 houses. Damn, you want 6. Like it's kind of like a flaw of being an entrepreneur when like enough is really never enough. And that's something that like I'm trying to get better at. Like I want to celebrate the little W's. Like it can't always be about Drake liking your picture or buying a new whatever. Like, you know what I mean? It has to be like just things that like, and I don't feel like I'm really that successful like in the grand scheme of things. That's the thing though, I feel like another thing society does, I'm rambling right now, but I feel like another thing society does is that we treat everybody like they got to be the next Drake. Like your friend could rap and he could be good, but it's like if I tell you guys like I want to rap, it's like all right, or I have a clothing line, it's like all right, but where's your car though? Like where's your house, where's your chains, like where's your watch, like you know what I mean? I feel like it's never enough, so we always like we treat everybody like they got to be the next LeBron. So like it's kind of like just being sucked into that honestly and keep wanting to go further, keep wanting to do more, keep wanting to get bigger. Like it'd be cool if I had a store one day, but then I'm gonna want to be in the mall. Then I'm gonna want to have 2 stores. Then I'm gonna want to have a store overseas. Like so it's like it's always just going like that. That's what pushes me is like it's never enough, which is a pro and a con.
Laisha?
Hi, my name is Laisha. My question is, what do you see yourself in like the next years to come?
I feel like for me, for example, I feel like it's hard for me to really gauge where I would be in like 5 years because 5 years, I don't know where I would be now, but I've worked so hard that it wouldn't surprise me if I was much further, if that makes sense. Because it's like every day I'm here, like trying to do better, trying to get my brand bigger, trying to get YouTube bigger, trying to get everything bigger. So like for me, I guess I would say like I couldn't go 5 years, maybe 2 years. I would like to see myself. I don't even know. I really don't know. I don't know because I don't really want a store. I feel like the way the future is moving, people buy things online. So like, do I want to be at a store? Then like, do I physically want to be in a store every day? Because that's kind of having a job, and that takes away from what I want to do. So I don't know. I want to be happy. That's really I want to be happy. I want to be the same way I am. Like I'm extremely happy now. I want to be successful. I want to have no debt. I want to the people around me, my friends and family, to if I can help them out in any way, shape, or form, and continue to help. That's why I like helping other brands out. Like I feel like I'm at somewhat of a level of success now that like if I can help someone else with a brand who just wants to get their foot in the door, like I want to keep that door open and have more people that look like me and work hard like me, and especially from New York or Queens. Like let's all like there's enough money, there's enough customers, there's no reason to be like shady about anything.
Thank you. And our last question from Hafizor.
Hi, I'm Hafizar. Are there any like people that influence the designs you make?
Not really. I kind of just like what I like. Like I don't really like I follow some people, but like I feel like it really is like I'm more just like I'm really all over the place. So like it's really whatever is like in my mind at the time. Like I drop a new collection every 13th of the month, and today's what, the 2nd, and I haven't even thought of what I'm going to put out in 10, 11 days. So it's like I kind of just see like what I have. Like I'm always like working on, like it's kind of like making beats. Like I'm always working on designs on my laptop. Like I'll maybe go on like Instagram. Sometimes I'll go on Instagram and put like hashtag vintage like something like vintage teas or vintage something, and I'll see like what's out there, and then I'll kind of like throw my little like pizzazz on it, or see if I could like, oh, let me do this, but like let's say I saw a design that had 4 letters, like Nike for example, I would put WBTF because it's kind of like the same. So that would be like my inspiration, I guess, like if I do something Nike related though, but most of the time it's just whatever my mind's on right now.
Nicholas, thank you so much for sharing with us. Are there any last words you want to leave for us to know?
I would say just do whatever really makes you happy. That's what the new version of success is. It isn't what job you have and how much money you make. It's just make sure you're happy. Like you guys are kind of still young, but let that be the driving force of whatever you want to do 10 years from now. Like just be like happiness, just chilling, and like just doing whatever you want to do. If it's like, I don't even know what, if it's being like my dream job, honestly, if I had to have a job, I swear my dream job would be an ice cream truck driver. Like that'd be my dream job, because I feel like a job like that, you get to do whatever you want. You're by yourself. You have freedom to go wherever you want, and everyone that sees you is very happy. So like that was really my dream job, but they don't really make any money, so it's like I'm not about to be an ice cream truck driver. Like I want to have all that fun stuff too. But yeah, that's what my my last words would be: happiness and like mental health. Just when you're happy, you're mentally happy usually too, though.
Did you see Ederly's comment?
What she
Except
said.
for parents. The parents are never happy.
Yeah, live for you too, though. Don't. Your parents are gonna love you no matter what most of the time. But that's really it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Good luck on your business.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So what did y'all think?
Inspirational.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
We're doing now.
He's very honest too.
And he's young. He's not even 30 yet.